Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Tip Off. For those of you on YouTube, yes, I didn't close the blinds, but it's gorgeous out. It's blue sky. It's fabulous. I might get to ride my bike outside today. I might play golf and ride my bike before going down to Groove Satellite and hosting the show with Scotty today. I might be a complete negligent person and see how much of this I can get in. Hope you're great. The NBA, I am like living in this office. The NBA is so good. The number one topic everyone's going to have today is about Real Salt Lake and um, that game and soccer, this and that. I tried. I honestly tried. And honestly, I lasted like 2.5 minutes, maybe at the most. Twice I tried. And literally all I was thinking is, oh my gosh, there's other stuff on I'd rather watch. To each their own. No big deal. I mean, truly, here's how I felt. I felt as though, like when you're in college or something, and one of your buddies is putting on a play, or one of your buddies is doing something, and you gotta go, because you got to show support and you got to be a part of it and you got to be good to them. And yet there's like three or four parties going on that are just really rocking and awesome, and you're sitting in this thing the whole time going, okay, I know I'm supposed to be here, but I ain't doing it. That's how I felt. Like I'm watching that thinking, okay, there's two game seven hockeys going on, um, and then I found out like 2 minutes in that the Grizzlies were up like six with 7 minutes left. I was like, see ya. And that's not to say that those people like soccer. That's fine. I don't. It's not my vibe. I don't get it. I don't deal. If you like it, that's great. But that's also why it's not about to become the national game or anything of that sort. Baseball's in very serious trouble. Baseball has decent attendance, some decent attendance numbers. Local TV's okay, but it has a heritage and a history in our country that means that it's going to stay kind of in its spot, but it's dropping fans at a pretty alarming rate because it's not exciting enough. It doesn't have enough things going for it in grab your attention fashion. It doesn't have enough national stars the way the NBA and the NFL do. And so, therefore, baseball's struggling, and it's definitely dropping in the pecking order. I mean, it's going to fall to number three. I don't think hockey's going to get it, but it might. I don't think so, though. This will be a big year if the NBA locks out. Hockey has a real chance to jump to the forefront, and we'll see what it does, because that's a great game. I think lacrosse could work its way up, but soccer, it's in the same ilk of baseball. You've got to really understand it. You have to really believe in it. You've got to see the beauty in it. It's not naturally obvious. It's slow. There's not enough excitement in the MTV generation, and it's just so it's not going to become the national sport. It's not going to happen, and it's not. I don't think it's going to rise in the U.S. to any more than what it is right now, and that is that the best of it in the world is played in Europe, and those people in the U.S. that have interest in it can watch that in this new global world, and that's kind of my take on it. Quickly, I'm going to do a short one today. Some people actually want this to be like just 3 minutes every day. Give me your thoughts. I'm always welcome to know what you guys think of the tip off and how it's working. I kind of just clear what's on the top of my head, things that are going on. I've got another scouting report coming out here at some point. I really want to throw out a huge thank you, if I can, um, to Jared Hurst, who has been sending me a bunch of stuff. This one's on Valanciunas, Jonas Valanciunas. I don't like him that much. I don't really like him at all. Though the more I watch him, I'm beginning to be. It's almost like I feel bad. I don't like him because everybody else has him rated high. But I'll have that one coming your direction. That Spurs Grizzlies game last night. I I thought Manu said it best. We didn't show the heart of the champion. We got lucky. But if in fact the Spurs come back to win that thing, it will turn out to be one of the greatest games in the history of the NBA. That it was just ridiculous, that finish. And again, if you're up three, Gary Neal puts the ball on the floor. You got to foul, man. You're up three. You got to foul. That's the right play. And it's too bad Lionel Hollins didn't do that last night, or else Memphis would have advanced in the playoffs by now. Denver had Oklahoma City, and I was really excited because I thought Denver could win Game 6 at home, and then I wanted to see Oklahoma City play with pressure, but Kevin Durant was simply too good. Russell Westbrook struggling. That team is experiencing pressure for the first time at a new level, and it's quibbling a little bit. So that more than anything. NFL draft is today, and it'll be fun to see how this thing plays out. Uh, The question, how much we made? It's interesting how big a deal this was. Trent Dilfer talked about this a lot with Mark Sanchez, that he was the guy that owned the room, that he was the guy that came in and everyone followed him. That's Cam Newton. That's undeniable. The guy has the smile. He glows. He clearly led his team to a championship. Um, you watch him on the Gruden thing. By the end of that thing, they're all following him. That is Cam Newton. He is a natural-born leader that carries his team. And how much does that matter? Because I thought that was very telling on the Gruden element things. Yeah, the other one I just think is very interesting on this draft, and it's actually on every NFL draft, is what position do you take? The quarterback is the riskiest thing. You can get Achilles Smith, you can get a Tim Couch, you can get a Ryan Leaf, but on the same level, if you don't have a Peyton Manning, you don't have an Aaron Rodgers, you're not winning this thing. I mean, Trent Dilfer won it, and Doug Williams won it in the strike-shortened season, and Rich Gannon got the Raiders there. But you're going to win this thing, particularly the way the rules have been changed, with a passing quarterback. You've got to have a great passing quarterback if you're going to win in this league. So the defensive tackle is a safe pick, and you probably have to have a pretty good. Clay Matthews is on Green Bay. If you look back, they all have pretty good pass rushing defensive tackles. But you really have to have a quarterback. And yet, if you blow that pick, you're in a lot of trouble. So it will be. I think it will be interesting to see how teams react. It certainly is beginning to sound like Cam's going one. Then what does Denver do? Where do these various quarterbacks fall? It's almost as though they're all going to go early because of the position need rather than people really believing in them. Uh, and we'll see. And then we won't have I don't think we'll have a local guy drafted until Saturday. Curtis Marsh, Utah State, or Brandon Burton, and that's something that dramatically has to change, particularly for Utah. More than anything else, it has to change for Utah, and that is uh, you have got to suddenly have 5 to 6 kids every year going to camps. One probably drafted in the first 2 rounds, one or two drafted in rounds, uh, say 3 through 5, and then two other kids drafted, or one other kid drafted, and two other kids going to camp. If you don't do that, you're going to get your handed to you in the Pac-10. And for BYU, they get that bowl game. I'm just so curious to watch how BYU fans are this year. You go 1-2 to start the year, and you simply now are playing for bowl eligibility and the Armed Forces Bowl. I think Independence was the right move. The affiliation with ESPN is fabulous. You couldn't have stayed in the mountain. But we're entering into a new year, and it's going to be very interesting to see how BYU fans do. Okay, that's a quick one. On the audio version, thanks for following and subscribing on iTunes or catching it here. We appreciate that very much. And on the video version, how about that transition? I have a question. If anybody is an IT guy or is really, really, really good, knows somebody who's really good with IT, if they could email me at dlock@utahjazz.com. Okay, little favor. And by the way, thank you for the Bryce Canyon stuff. We're staying at Ruby's Inn. So thanks to whoever sent me that.